Hey, welcome everyone. In this video, we're talking about the greatest version of Windows ever made called Windows 11 IoT. Now, if you want to see the written version of this video, you can find a link to my website in the video description. Now, you may be thinking, hold on, Sook, surely you jest. You just said Windows 11 and greatest in the same sentence. Some of my older viewers are probably like, pish posh, lollygag, boulder dash, and other funny, silly malarkey words. I can't really think of right now, but I'm dead serious. So what this basically stands for is Windows 11 Internet of Things, IoT. Now, before we dive into why this version of Windows is amazing, like I dual boot Windows 11 IoT and Linux Mint. Linux Mint is my primary OS on all my computers. And I only use Windows 11 IoT for video editing. That's the only reason I ever boot into it, but it is the greatest version of Windows ever made. I dare say that I've been using Windows since Windows 95, since I was a kid. The only things that were the best versions of Windows, in my opinion, were Windows XP and Windows 7. This is actually better than those, okay? First, let's start with the catch. There is a big catch to this operating system, not what you might think, but I'm going to mention it so don't waste the rest of your time in this video. Obtaining a license for this version of Windows is not easy. You can't just go to Best Buy, Amazon, whatever, search for it or pluck it off a shelf in Best Buy, whatever, and say, yeah, I have the license key. It doesn't work like that. The license key is only really designed for businesses. I'm not saying you can't use it on your personal circumstance, because I've tried to research the legal terms and there's nothing really mentioned about it. It's just the license key is not sold to the average consumer. So getting a license key is not that easy, okay? That is a big caveat. There are some people who said on Reddit they can obtain the license. They explain how. You can research it yourself. Some people have mentioned maybe not so ethical means of attaining the license key. That's another option, but I'm not going to get into that. I don't even want to touch that subject, so that's that. Another problem is I'm running a Lenovo Legion laptop. The problem with this laptop, and I blame Lenovo for this, is that you can't just download the drivers for this thing on their website. Okay, you have to download the Lenovo Vantage app. Except to get the Lenovo Vantage app, you have to have the Microsoft Store. Windows 11 IoT, this is a good thing, does not come with a Windows Store. That's the one less bloatware not installed. You have to manually activate it through a PowerShell command, which is super easy. Maybe I'll post that command in the video description if people get this version. So I had to get the Windows App Store to download the Lenovo Legion Vantage app to download drivers and BIOS updates. I had no choice. If you plan to do PC gaming, some games might not work out of the box with this operating system. Why? Because the Xbox app is not installed. Again, less bloatware. So I see that as a good thing, but some other folks, you might have to manually download that, but that's usually pretty easy. There's really easy workarounds on the internet. So now that I talked about the negatives, which I think is very important, you get the Band-Aid ripped off right off the bat. I don't waste your time. If you don't like the disadvantages, be sure to like and subscribe because I saved you a bunch of time before exiting the video. The thing about this operating system is that it's designed for enterprises mainly because it's designed for very specific use cases. So let's say you're some sort of software development company or a store and you need some sort of signage posted on like a giant touchscreen or something. You might want something very minimal and doesn't have too much intrusive pop-ups coming up. You might want to design some sort of kiosk app. This would be perfect for that because you don't get pop-ups on this. Like I don't get pop-ups for the Windows Store because it's typically disabled. You don't get pop-ups for any nonsensical things on the Windows notification. Ironically, the only pop-up I ever get, this is crazy to me, is from the NVIDIA driver because this is running an RTX 4060 mobile and my computer over there is running a GTX 1080. So yeah, there's no pop-ups. Or maybe you're designing some sort of medical equipment. It needed to be bare bones stable operating system. This would be it. So a lot of companies will use Linux because they're much more stable for those type of use cases, but some companies prefer .NET framework for development, Visual Studio from Microsoft and all other jazz, and they want to develop on Microsoft. This is what this operating system is designed for, but is more than capable for home usage. So now that we covered what this purpose is for, let's talk about the advantages. So I talked about there's no Xbox game app, which you can activate if you really need to. There's no Microsoft Store, which you can activate if you need to. And I'll have the script command in PowerShell you can activate in the video description. The next thing here is the hardware requirement. So let's dive in. I'm going to share my screen. This is Windows 11 IoT, as you see. I'll go through some stuff really quick. It just looks like regular Windows 11, but super clean, okay? We'll dive into it quickly. So Windows LTSC is long-term service channel, basically designed for long-term support with minimal updates That's right, updates are very bare bones. They don't get all these feature updates as much as you would on regular Windows. It's very stable updates. That's the whole point of it. There's two versions of LTSC. The one I'm looking at is specifically the IoT version, okay? And if you look at the documentation, this is the official Microsoft website documentation. We want to look at this last column here. And this is by far the biggest thing for me, is TPM 2.0 is optional. And same with secure boot. This basically means that if you're running a really old computer, then you can run this on that device. Like it's the same requirements as Windows 7, Windows 10, kind of. I don't know if it's coming in the camera, but over there, my desktop is running an Intel i7 4770K processor. Here in 2026, it's going to hit 11 years old, that processor. My graphic card is an NVIDIA GTX 1080. I believe this year is going to hit 10 years old. I'm running Windows 11 IoT on that just fine. In fact, with this operating system, which I use for video editing, Linux Mint is my primary OS, but I use Windows 11 IoT for video editing, for DaVinci Resolve Studio. I'm able to edit 4K video in 60 frames a second. But that machine, considering how old it is, runs it just fine. And this is what makes me really angry with Microsoft. They could release this to the general public and not contribute to people spending a lot more money on a new computer and a new Windows license like Windows 11, because the requirements for Windows 11 needs TPM 2.0. And a lot of people don't know this because Microsoft doesn't advertise it that much, but you need to run certain chipsets. So if your processor from AMD or Intel is too old, it won't run it. So even if you have TPM 2.0, the processor is too old, you're out of luck. And I have a bunch of videos explaining this. I could put links to those videos in the video description. Some of the catches, what are the requirements for Windows 11, how to extend support for Windows 10, and how to bypass the requirements to install Windows 11 if your computer officially doesn't support it. This is regular Windows 11, not IoT, okay? So I have a bunch of information trying to help folks get the most out of the computer. And the other thing is that it's a sad thing that they're contributing to e-waste. It's very bad on the environment. It drives me really crazy. So Windows 11 doesn't have those requirements. You can just take any super old computers I have over there, and I screenshot on the B-roll footage just now. Runs just amazing. Amazing. It runs faster than it ever did when it's brand new with Windows 10. I think I actually installed Windows 7 initially when I got it, then Windows 10. It runs fastest with Windows 11 IoT. The supported system itself, there's LTSC regular, it's supported until 2029. IoT, which I'm focusing on, this version of LTSC, because there's two versions. The IoT version, mainstream is 2029, but extended support's running to 2034. So that means as long as my hardware components on that machine over there don't die out, like the processor and the motherboard, and the RAM, I guess, because that's also dependent on it, I could run that machine until 2034, making it 20 years old, 19 years old by the time it's officially not supported by Microsoft. So here's some other things I want to mention really quick. Notice that I have the start menu on the bottom left. This is typically what you find on traditional Windows, Windows 10 and older. This is me customizing it. You just go to right click at the bottom, taskbar settings, and you can customize the positioning of it, hide the search. But one of the things that, aside from Xbox and Windows Store not being there, this one really shocked me, is if I take a picture and I try to open it, notice something interesting? It doesn't know what to open it with, okay? It doesn't have the photo viewer app. What happens is that when you open up pictures, it opens it in Microsoft Paint, okay? By default, which is really weird. It took me a while to figure out what the heck is happening, because I would assume that they would not include Microsoft Paint and they would install the photo viewer, but they did the opposite. There's no photo viewer, and all pictures open in the Paint app, which is really funny but kind of interesting. So I installed an alternative. It's called Nomax. It's a open source software. It's just fine. Actually works better than the default Microsoft picture viewer. It's a lot more customizable, but it opens super fast, super lightweight, despite how much more powerful it is than the traditional Windows photo viewer. So another interesting thing is that there's no AI in this operating system. There's no Copilot. It was not pre-installed, and I've had this operating system for almost half a year now, and through all those Windows updates, it hasn't installed it once. There's no indication of AI. In fact, what's annoying to me is that as much as I love this laptop from Lenovo, the Legion 5i, is that it has the Copilot button on the keyboard. I don't want that trash, but Lenovo thought it was a good idea. Stupid. So here's the interesting thing. So I'm going to hit the Windows button on my keyboard, and this is what you see. When I hit the Copilot button on my keyboard, this is what it changes to. So it's almost the same thing as the start button. It's very similar, But Copilot doesn't exist, so it just does the next alternative. It's a search function built into Windows, which I love. Another thing about this operating system, it does not come with Microsoft Teams. It just doesn't exist. Now, I do have it installed because I needed it for meetings on my personal laptop. That's why it's here. But otherwise, it does not come with it. It does not come with OneDrive. OneDrive is typically built in with Windows. You don't need a 365 account or applications. There's no OneDrive. This doesn't exist. Long story short, what I noticed is that there's no connection back to AI or cloud storage services to Microsoft at all. It does collect telemetry data. Okay, during startup and when you're installing it, it does ask, do you want to, send recommended amount of data or just the bare minimum telemetry? It still does that. So keep that in mind. That's why you install a VPN. But all the other cloud services and AI services just doesn't exist. If I ever need to access it and I'm in IoT and I'm not using Linux Mint for whatever reason, I have ways to just go down a web browser and use it. And they're all privacy-based, no accounts needed. Maybe I'll make another video if people ask how to get that done. Privacy-based AI usage. But yeah, there's no Teams, there's no OneDrive. Another thing that I found really weird is that Notepad, it doesn't have a new Notepad where it autosaves. So if I go to Notepad, you notice it has no tabs. It doesn't have dark theme. So with no tabs, that means there's no autosave function. I really hate the new Notepad where you have tabs on the top. That's okay, that's cool. But I hate the autosave function because I've had to take a Notepad file from here to my desktop or vice versa, I can't remember. And when I did that, it went kind of wacky and it didn't know which tabs to populate that were auto-saved. It kind of merged it with the existing ones on my desktop. I want to show something else. If you go to my apps listing, you'll notice there's almost nothing here. If you look at accessibility, okay, cool. And this is DaVinci Resolve stuff. That's my video editing. But there's like nothing here from Microsoft. So take your time, pause if you want to. But Microsoft Edge is installed because that's part of the operating system. I couldn't get rid of it. Microsoft Store, Red explained, I installed that manually. Teams, I manually installed because I needed those too. NVIDIA drivers, OBS I installed, Paint, Proton stuff, Spotify installed, Steam I installed, and VLC. Like there's nothing here. There's no Solitaire, there's no Candy Crusher, none of that trash. It just doesn't exist. It is truly fantastic. It's lightweight on the battery because it uses up less resources. There's less garbage in there, less bloatware. It's not. Also, another thing I noticed is that, every few months on regular Windows 11, you get this pop-up when you boot up the computer saying, hey, do you want to install Microsoft Office? Take advantage of these offers for OneDrive storage. Here's how much you can pay. Here's a discount. Basically ads. Those are basically ads, right? They come up like once or every 2 months or something. It doesn't do that. I've been using this for half a year. I don't get any ads from Microsoft at all. So this should have been the version of Windows 11 that released to everybody, not just developers for creating kiosks or medical equipment. No, it should have been this. But Microsoft purposely chose not to do it. It runs just fine on old hardware like my desktop over there, as I just demonstrated. During startup, this one's nuts to me. It does not ask for a Microsoft account. I know that's crazy. That is one of the biggest sticking fixtures because right now Microsoft has mandated it on Windows 11, Home, Pro, and Enterprise versions. You must have a Microsoft account to use Windows. They're trying their hardest to block people from using a local account. As a default, install Windows. It's like, hey, what is your account name? You don't want to use it? Skip? Done. Okay, we'll skip the Microsoft account setup feature. I didn't have to run a PowerShell command or any hack or anything like that. So what is the conclusion of this video? I stand by the fact that this is the greatest version of Windows ever made. It's the very minimalistic features of Windows XP, Windows 7, which I loved. It's super stable. The most stable version of Windows I've ever used. Windows updates, never a problem. Very smooth and fast. No blue screen of death, no green screen of death, no black screen of death, because I don't know, there's different versions of screen of death. It is the fastest version of Windows I ever used. Linux Mint is still faster for boot up and general day-to-day tasks, but this is the fastest version of Windows I've ever used, especially on my aging hardware that's a decade and counting. 10 years plus, still and counting. It runs phenomenal. This is just proof that Microsoft screwed over customers with Windows 11 Home, Pro, and Enterprise versions. That if you don't have hardware that can meet the capabilities, which are pretty BS in my opinion, too bad, so sad, you have to buy new hardware. I'm almost positive, this is me putting my conspiracy hat on, that Microsoft has an under-the-table handshake agreement with all these hardware manufacturers saying, yeah, we'll screw over customers so they have to buy more of your hardware, but then it has to come with our version of operating system. of Windows 11. They could have just released this. No bloatware, no spyware. This is proof Microsoft purposely screwed over their customers. So I hope you found this video useful. If you did, be sure to check out my website link in the video description. Hit the like button, it does help. Subscribe, it literally helps my channel grow. Maybe consider hitting the super thanks, like that heart icon button below this video, because here I am making this after hours on a weeknight after work. And that's pretty much a wrap.